Where do I stand?
Here's the rare here.
All right.
There. I'm gonna do a short bio.
Yeah. You betcha.
All right, good evening, everybody. Thanks for being here. Tonight, we're gonna do our swearing in of our newest officer, John Behrens. A little bit about John. He was born and raised in Davenport, Iowa. He went to West High School for 3 years and then graduated from North Scott High School in 2017. While in high school, he wrestled and shot trap and went to state twice for wrestling. After high school, he spent 2 years at Iowa Central Community College studying criminal justice and actually shot for the trap team. And I understand you guys won 2 national championships, that's right? So it's awesome. After Iowa Central, he finished his bachelor's degree in criminal justice at Iowa State University, where he met his beautiful wife over there, Megan. They've been married for almost 2 years now and have a beautiful boy named Wayne. You're getting big. John has previously worked for the Eldridge Police Department. We're excited to have him back, and I think he's excited to be back.
Yes, I am.
Mr. Mayor, I'll have you do the oath of office.
Okay.
All right.
I,
John Behrens,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and the Constitution of the State of Iowa,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
and that I will faithfully and impartially,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
discharge all the duties of the office of the police officer
discharge all the duties of the office of the police officer
in the city of Eldridge,
in the
Iowa,
city of Eldridge, Iowa,
as now and hereafter required by law.
and is now and hereafter required by law.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir.
Anything if you want to put on the badge, feel free.
I'll hold it. It's no strange.
There you go.
Yeah, I think you didn't stop, so.
Perfect.
Congratulations, brother.
Hey, appreciate it.
Glad to have you back, John.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
John, tell Crystal I said hi.
I would.
Okay. It's now 7:03 and we'll call the meeting to order. Roll call.
Blackwell. Campbell,
President.
Collins,
Present.
Dockery,
Present.
Yossi.
Pledge of allegiance. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. Looking for a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved. Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Dockery to approve the agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. Public comment. Now is the time if somebody, public has, you can address the council at the microphone and please state your name.
My name is Molly Hart and I live at 418 West Davenport Street, Eldridge. And I am here to address 3 different things. I was here before and talked about the alley and the water problems, and I haven't seen any resolve to that, and I'm just wondering if there are any plans. It seems like our alley is not very well cared for. If you go and look at our alley, there's weeds that have not been taken care of. I don't know when was the last time it was plowed, but it has been built up so much on the curve that we have a stream coming and sitting in our driveway, which can get quite big. I brought some pictures that you can pass around. The top picture shows what it looks like today when it's dried up. It's nice and green. So I'm just. I understand that there are no plans to pave our alley. I mean, I'm wondering if that's still the case or. And I'm not the only one that has issues with the water. But we have the worst of it. I mean, when we go out to our cars some days, we have to walk around huge puddle. And or walk through the puddle. And it just continues to get worse.
Well, I know last year when you talked about that to me, I know they did do some grading last year. And I know they sprayed the weeds and stuff that were growing in the alley over by there, but I haven't driven down there to see if they did anything since all the rain. Cause I have a weed problem myself on my gravel right now from all the rain, but I'm glad you brought this picture.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll show those guys, because sometimes it was hard to have them with their schedule get over to see the water before it dried up.
Yeah, and I was mad because I should have taken a video, because it just flows.
No, you can see in that second picture that it's running over towards that utility pole. So I appreciate you bringing this picture.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Another thing is, we have a half lot in the back of our property, and it's where the poles, the electricity runs down there. And there's a huge walnut tree that is hanging over it. That probably should be trimmed. I know when our trees got like that, they came and cut it all the way back so that it couldn't grow into the wires anymore, and I know that you guys aren't responsible for the but it's pulling the cable down, which is pulling on poles. And there are 4 wires up there, and you can't, in the picture there, you can't see through them because the branches are hanging.
They're
over.
in the tree.
Yeah, and I think the city thinks that our property is part of the alley, and they drive on it and make big divots and things in it. And I would appreciate if they wouldn't do that if they come to cut that, or I don't know who's gonna cut that, or if you're not gonna do anything, but. And then the third thing I have is in 2017, we hired some new neighbors who added on a garage. And I was told that they had 2 years to finish that project. And it still has not been finished to this day. At the 2-year point, I did call and talk to Mr. Neese and asked about it getting finished, and he said it was close enough. And so I don't know if that's what Eldridge is about, is making things close enough, but the eaves have not been finished off, and the edging, and I don't know what else hasn't been done. And I can understand that, I mean, him trying to be nice to these people because they do have a lot of problems, but in the long run, it's really not very kind not to have them finish it. And so, if something would be done about that, I would appreciate it. It does bring down property values in that neighborhood, and which eventually affects the whole city. So,
Thank you.
thank you very much for listening.
Thank you for coming.
Mhm.
Is there anybody else who'd like to address the council right now? Okay. We'll move on to 5A, consideration to approve the city council minutes from the June 16th, 2025 meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Collins to approve minutes from June 16th. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it. 5B, consideration to approve the bills payable in the amount of $1,140,286.72. Scott, do you have any
I
questions?
have no questions tonight.
Adrian?
I have no mayor.
Okay, Brian?
It'll shock you, but I have no questions.
Okay, I am shocked. I am. Okay, with that being said, can I hear a motion to approve the bills payable?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Blackwell to approve the bills payable. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? The ayes have it. 5C, consideration to approve a liquor license renewal for the Eldridge Community Center. Chief, everything looks good there?
No issues on our side.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell to approve the liquor license renewal for the community center. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? Ayes have it.
Martha, thank you for getting your name on there and versus the previous name.
Yes, thank you.
Well, yeah.
I noticed
we'll
that.
change-
Sure.
Yeah. It's okay. I know. Yeah, we're actually updating that with them. So everything's good, but
Thank you.
Well, you just-
I know.
5D, consideration to approve the liquor license renewal for Big Ten Mark number 25.
No issues.
Okay, thank you, chief.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Campbell, second by Dockery to approve the liquor license renewal for Big Ten Mart number 25. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5E, consideration to approve the liquor license renewal for Big Ten Mart number 27.
No
Good
issues.
as well.
Yep.
Thank you, chief. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Dockery, second by Collins to approve the liquor license renewal for Big Ten Mart number 27. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nays? The ayes have it. 5F, consideration to approve a 5-day liquor license to the city of Eldridge for the Summerfest effective July 10th through July 14th, 2025. Everything in order for that too, chief?
Yep, no issues with that.
Okay,
Just for clarification, from the newer members, Ryan's not here. 5 days is the minimum you can do it. If you ask for Eldridge Fest, well, Scott, you know that from. Brendan. So moved.
all right. Motion by Dockery, second by Blackwell to approve the 5-day liquor license for the city of Eldridge for Summerfest effective July 10th through 14th. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay? The ayes have it. 6A, consideration of the third and final reading of ordinance 2025-16 accessory dwelling units. Jeff, can I call on you?
Thank you, Mayor. We've received no comments on this issue.
Okay. With that being said, roll call.
First, Your Honor, I make a motion to approve the third and final reading of
Okay.
ordinance
Second.
2025-16.
Thank you, Brian. Motion by Dockery, second by Collins. Roll call.
Dockery,
Aye.
Collins,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
motion carries, Your Honor.
Thank you, Letty. 7A, consideration of the first reading of ordinance 2025-17 water systems, meters, rates, and conservation. Jeff, can I call on you? I understand there's quite a few people involved in creating this.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Basically, there's a lot of, items in our city code dealing with sewer systems and installation of sewer systems, and sewer rates. We're a little bit lacking in the water system area of the city code. So this is just bringing all that stuff up to date. This was written by the water and superintendent, and there was input from the building official and assistant city administrator. It was reviewed and amended by the utility board on June 2nd, and then unanimously recommended for approval by the utility board at their June 16th meeting.
Thank you, Jeff.
I make a motion that we approve the first reading of this ordinance.
Second that.
Motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-17 on water systems. Roll call.
Collins,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye.
motion carries, Your Honor.
Thank you. 7B, consideration of first reading of ordinance 2025-18 amending the South First Street speed limit. Jeff, has anybody said anything about that?
No, Your Honor, this is, basically, based on, a recommendation from the TEEP study, that said that to move that speed limit, further south, 200 additional feet. And since we just got in the new hardware to put on there, we figured now would be a good time to update the ordinance and do that.
Thank you, Jeff. Do I hear a motion?
Your Honor, I'd like to just change this a little bit. Right now, it's defined at 300 foot south. And it comes right in the middle of the parking area for that property. There, I would like to move it another, whatever the distance is, south to the intersection point of that property and the next property south.
Go at the property line.
Property line, so people don't pull in that lot and back out and hit a speed limit 35 miles an hour. Whatever that distance is, and
Approximately another 100 feet or so. We can measure it
Okay,
if you guys would like to do it that way.
all right. So you want to make that your motion?
Just over, I have one comment. Didn't we mention it a few meetings ago too about the traffic down by at the regional center? You know, because it's really a school zone down there, and so we talked about that, maybe looking at that at some point in time too.
Yeah, that would be,
It's 45 now, right there.
it is 45 there now. Yeah, so if the council would like to kind of do what the school zone is now, and Monday through Friday, 7 to 5, when school's in session for that area as well. that
Or
is
would we
something-
just extend this 35 down to there to make it 35 down there?
I don't think they'd be out there writing tickets all day long.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to go 25 and then back up to 45, and then you got your 35 mile per hour
Right.
zone there.
Right.
That's a lot of asking a driver.
Sure.
To do, so,
But I just remember it was talking
It was
about
talked
the safety
about.
factor.
yeah. It was.
So we can pass this, and when school starts, we can take a look to see if you think there is an issue.
And we can do kind of what we do with GTSB. There's times where obviously we do seatbelt counts and stuff like that, so we can sit down there and do some speed counts to see, what we're getting, so, and get the stats back to you, so.
Looking on like the first day of school or first couple of days of school, like we do by the high school.
Yeah, usually we
Maybe
do
set
the,
some people off.
usually we'll do a speed enforcement on the first day of school.
Yeah.
Just to remind drivers, hey, it's school's starting, we need to slow down to that 25, so. But we can get some traffic counts for you.
Maybe do the same the following day, maybe down by the rick, just to see.
Yeah.
So, good. Awesome.
Absolutely.
If you're watching, Brian.
Is that?
I make a motion to adjust the speed limit on South First Street from Lincoln Road South to the next intersection of the two properties on the east side of the road. Whatever that distance is.
I can prepare that for next.
Okay,
For that second.
all right. Motion by Dockery, second by Blackwell,
First reading.
to approve the first reading of ordinance 2025-18, amending South First Street speed limit and adjusting it approximately another 100 feet to the south. Roll call.
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
Dockery,
Aye.
Colin,
Aye.
motion carried, Your Honor.
Thank you, Letty. 7C, consideration of resolution 2025-18, approving Ivory Acres Part 2 final plot. Jeff, is that all look okay?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Yeah, basically, this is just a lot adjustment. So instead of building the 2-story townhouses along this side of the subdivision like they originally planned, they would like to just build 1-story, the townhouse, not the townhouse, but the 1-story, styles of villa style condos, I guess. So they're taking out, 2 lots to do this, so losing 2 lots, so they had to adjust some lot lines. We did have, some stipulations in there that I believe that they're already working on. We'd like to GPS any of the services they take out. They're gonna have to abandon 2 and move 1, for water and sewer services. We requested that they let us know when they do that, so we can GPS them. And also so that the, department heads can observe the work that's being done there, and they agreed to that. But otherwise, it's ready to go. just a different style building, and so no issue city code wise.
Yes.
Jeff, when they, take out the water service, are we gonna have a dead main there?
No, they were, just tapped so far, so they'll just have to cap them at the main.
But it'll still be where we can flush hydrants if there's a little,
Yeah, no issues with any of that.
Here, motion. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Motion by Blackwell, second by Campbell to approve resolution 2025-18 approving Ivory Acres Part Two final plot. Roll call.
Dockery,
aye,
Colin,
Aye.
Campbell,
Aye.
Blackwell,
Aye.
motion carried.
Thank you, Letty.
Mhm.
7D, discussion and consideration to discontinue city shop as a drop-off site for appliances, carburetors, paint, and motor oil. Jeff, can I call on you for this? Or
You
Nevada?
wanna talk about that or do you
Sure.
want me to?
Thank you, Mayor. This was an item that was brought forward. We talked about it just briefly at the last, council meeting, and it was asked that we bring it forward as an agenda item for more discussion. This came about because some of the materials that are being dropped off for us to take to the, Waste Commission site, we get dinged on our compliance visit for our MS4 permit, which, Jeff can probably speak a little bit to the background on that. But the other issue that we have is, the Waste Commission of Scott County is only about 6 or 7 miles away for residents, that can drop off these materials free of charge. When the city is taking them, the city gets charged, as an organization to be able to drop these items off. So this last invoice that we had, there was a cost to the city of $410 to be able to take these items and drop them off, for residents when we live in close proximity to the site that they can drop them off at, where it would be free charge to the residents.
now they can't drop off dishwashers, correct?
They're not supposed to drop off dishwashers or microwaves, because the people that come and pick up the materials, to turn them in for the metal, they won't take dishwashers or microwaves because they have too much plastic in it. So, but unfortunately, nobody's there, during the day policing it, so they get all kinds of stuff ranging from garbage to, all the way up to dishwashers, microwaves, stuff that they can't use. So anything that the people that are scrapping don't take, then our city staff has to dispose of. The things on the MS4 permit that the DNR called out was there's some oil spills, in the parking lot, caused by people trying to dump their own oil into the bins and things like that. So it just creates an issue for us because we don't have a dedicated person there to watch it, which could be solved, in some other ways, if you guys wanted to discuss that. As Nevada said, it is pretty close to take it to the Scott County Recycle Center, which, takes all of these items. It's up to you guys how you wanna figure out what to do.
Will they take motor oil and everything down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know some communities in the past, we kind of talked about it today, you'll have, like drop-off days in conjunction with the Waste Commission of Scott County. So they'll designate a day or two a year that they'll have a drop-off with, employees present that could supervise the activities. That'd be an option that we could do that, people could just save it up and drop it off then. Otherwise, paints can be thrown in the garbage as long as they're allowed to dry out first and get hard. You just can't throw wet paint in there. There's certain things we could do on social media to maybe educate the public about what they can do with some of this stuff instead of taking it to the city shop also.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this if we have even one day a year where we make it available to people to possibly bring things up.
Yeah. Part of the problem with the appliances too, from the DNR's perspective, was that those are getting dropped off in an open area and they require that stuff to be covered. And I assume on a hard service, I'm not sure if it has to have a door on it or not, I'd have to inquire. But I assume the fear is that if somebody drops off a refrigerator and it's leaking Freon or something, they don't want that to get into the soil. But we have, on the last two reports, gotten dinged because there were appliances sitting outside of an enclosed area. Which, you know, if we wanted to continue taking those, we could build some kind of a lean-to, maybe on the side or something, or.
No, I would say same thing, have a designated day or 2 days a year where we can get a roll off. Where people bring it, then go right into the roll off.
I think it's a great service that we provided, but I think it's like you said, it's a nice course. There's too many complications and we don't have the staff to manage it. I agree totally with a day or two a year to do that. I would also think that we should like not end it right away. I would space it out, you know, 2 or 3 months so people know what the deadline is. Maybe it's August 31st or whatever the case may be, but just to give the residents plenty of time to know.
Yeah, I kind of think it's run its course as well with us being with that and just the police commission there on 53rd off of Terry Avenue is only 6.6 miles away. I know we get flyers, postcards twice a month advertising what they take and what they accept. So it's any particular liquid, any type of solvent, paint, even wet paint, they take and they recycle that. So we're communicating with the public. I feel that's okay, you know, maybe small inconvenience, but the other communities throughout Scott County, that's where they take theirs to. I don't know if it's smaller ones like the Clare, or Buffalo, or Bluegrass. I'm not for sure if they have drop-offs. So my understanding, they don't, but you can do your research and correct me if I'm wrong. But I think as for right now, just to clean that area up, I think it's worthy that we do that. Scrappers that come, how much stuff is even left behind usually, Jeff?
The dishwashers and microwaves, they usually leave.
And how many, at a given time, how many are we stuck with taking, you know?
Well, yeah, I don't know, it depends. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly, but I guess, you know, $410 worth the last time, you know, so I don't know what that adds up to, but I know that when I worked at my previous employer, the North Scott Press, businesses, including cities, government entities are charged there, but citizens are generally not. They may be for some items, but just for e-waste, I know that citizens aren't charged, so it's free for them to drop it off there. But as a city, we have to pay.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Waste Commission has expanded their hours for the summer. And I believe it's the first of every month. They are open at the hazardous waste site when you pull in. So you already go drop off solvents, paints, other type of liquids, antifreeze there for free. So as long as we educate individuals, maybe somebody can contact, you know, Bryce there, so, or Rachel Evans to do some communication, maybe specifically for our community, to let them know as we gradually phase this out, send out postcards, send out media releases, so the residents know where they can take these and know that there's not gonna be a charge for them. So, but yeah, I'm okay moving forward with that. As long as we keep in the yard waste drop off, I think we're good to go.
One final question, then I'll shut up. In the city shop, do we have oil burners to heat the building in the wintertime?
I don't know. Do you know, Keith?
We do not. Well, if we take oil, it's something we could burn it through there and save costs, but I just don't know what kind of volume we would get per year.
Yeah, and the issue isn't so much accepting it, the issue is not having a person there to supervise, and you get people dumping gas or antifreeze or other substances in what's supposed to be the oil, and then the people that come and get the oil from you don't want it because it's contaminated with other
So then do we have
substances.
to pay Safety Clean or Environment, somebody to pump that off?
Yeah, I don't know.
Safety Clean, we pay Safety Clean to take the antifreeze.
How about the used oil we get?
there's a local person that has been getting there since I started with the city.
That's all I have.
Yeah, so do we want to continue this discussion or does somebody want to make a motion?
I'm okay with it if we, once or twice a year, have an outlet for the residents. And like Scott suggested, we phase into this.
Okay,
How about we have Jeff and Nevada put in a phase-in plan and we can approve it at the next meeting? How about that?
Fine.
okay, sounds good. That's consensus, Nan? Okay.
Thank you, John.
On to 7E, consideration to approve the quote from Seven Hills Paving in the amount of $41,200, the South Fifth Street HMA paving project. Nevada, can I call on you for this?
Thank you, Mayor. In your packet, you'll see the recommendation from Shive Hattery. We've got 4 different quotes for this project, which is the paving, on South Fifth Street for the extra, area along the edge of the road for the school. And there was also a patch that we had a separate quote for to see what that would come in at and whether that would be, a bidding threshold or not. We had quotes from Seven Hills Paving, Brandt Construction, Manats, and then Tyler Ridge Paving and Construction, with Seven Hills Paving coming in with the lowest bid of $41,200. And I believe our estimated project cost from Zach for this was right around $100,000, so good bids that we've received on that.
I make a motion that we approve the bid in 41,200 from Seven Hills Paving.
Second that.
Motion by Campbell, second by Blackwell to approve the quote from Seven Hills Paving, the amount of $41,200, the South Fifth Street HMA paving project. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay. Ayes have it. Okay, on the number 8, Board of Staff Activity Reports. Nevada, I'll start with you.
I don't have any updates tonight, Mayor.
Okay. Jeff?
Thank you, Mayor. I also do not have any updates.
All right, thank you. Buddy, do you have any updates?
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just say that we ended our fiscal year obviously on June 30th, so we're starting to wrap up the final months as far as reconciliations and cash flows, for the remainder of the fiscal year of 25. And we will be starting our end of year closeouts, and that usually takes approximately 3 months. That is as much time as you can have. We'll be working with the auditors. And I think that's about it for me.
Okay, thank you. Chief?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have one update. Recently, I've been working on a traffic awareness and safety event. We are gonna push all that information out tomorrow. I'll send you an email with all that. It's gonna include 2 things. It's gonna be, one, it's gonna be Saturday, July 26th from 9 to noon at Public Works, in the back parking lot. It's gonna include mock traffic stops for new drivers. So we're gonna do, some mock traffic stops with them. So they have a hands-on, kind of less stressful situation, kind of dealing with less than, kind of familiarize them with, what they can expect, what we can expect. Shockingly, to show them what a registration card is, what an insurance card is. So we plan on doing that, but I think most importantly, the community will like this, is we're gonna do a portion of that for e-scooters, for safety tips and course that they can actually do, and interact with us and kind of push some safety stuff out there. I know the community's been, asking for that, as there's been a lot of issues with scooters, so we think by doing this class, we can tamper down a lot of what's been going on and what's been happening. So we're looking forward to that. That's gonna be Saturday, July 26th from 9 to noon. And like I said, I have a lot more information. I'll send that to you in an email tomorrow, and council, I'll send that to you as well. So
Chief, will we have a issue with yard waste pickup at the same time?
yes, me and Tony Root talked about that this morning. We're gonna section an area off so they can easily come in and turn around. That won't affect us, so everything will be safe. So we shouldn't have any issues.
Okay. Yeah, I got one question before my normal motion. Wednesday night, yard waste pickup, City shop, what are the hours of that?
I'd have to look it up, 4 to
It's 5 o'clock. It closes
Yeah.
at 5.
close to 5.
Wednesday.
Is that
So
something
3 to 5.
that we can, if we wanted 2 hours, go 4 to 6 versus 3 to 5, because a lot of us that have full-time jobs, we're not home by 5 o'clock.
Sure. Now I can talk to Public Works Director and, they'll just need to talk to the person scheduled to work. I don't anticipate it would be a big issue. But just be re-educating the public of what the new hours are.
And I just think it'd be beneficial for a lot of residents, because otherwise I'm sure we get slammed on Saturdays too. But no, if we could give some consideration, make it 4 to 6 to give people time to get home and cut their grass real quick and take it up. Otherwise it sits out all weekend Monday, if they don't have a pickup or something to bring it up.
Sure. Now I'll take a look at that and see if it's in a resolution or something that needs to be changed and have that for next meeting.
Okay. With that, Your Honor, I make a motion for adjournment.
Motion by Dockery, second for Blackwell to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Nay, we are adjourned. 7:36. Thank you, everybody.
Good job.